All right, welcome to the video. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. This one is action-packed. This video, we are on Anderson Ranch. This was April the 11th of 2026. We catch lots of kokanee in this video. I also, at the end, will show you how I can my kokanee, the process as well as the recipe. We're also going to go over how I choose what dodgers to run, what colors to run, and also a little comparison between Kokobo dodgers and dodgers by other manufacturers. So hopefully this will be something that you guys will enjoy. So I will let you guys get to the fishing. All right, welcome back to Idaho Hook and Hunt. I told you on the first video that I'm not going to specifically say what body of water that I'm fishing on if it's a current video. However, I've kind of changed my mind on that, at least in one respect. Anderson Ranch Reservoir, if I'm on that reservoir, I'm going to let you know, which is exactly where I am today. Today is April the 11th. We're on Anderson Ranch. I am here with my nephew and my brother-in-law. You will meet them here shortly. I'm here with Nate and Colin. But anyway, the reason why I'm telling you that we're on Anderson Ranch is because Anderson Ranch has an awful lot of kokanee this year, and we need as many people on Anderson Ranch as we can get to get some of these fish out of this reservoir, because that's what's best for these kokanee. Like I mentioned on my previous video when I talked about kokanee populations and their size based on density, Anderson Ranch is a great example of that. I'm going to play with some numbers. Now these are not official numbers. This is just, kind of estimated numbers. But, just for example, let's say there's, 4 million kokanee in Anderson Ranch this year. Limit on Anderson Ranch is 15 per person. These numbers I'm going to give you big numbers because those are what are best to work with to give you a good idea of what's actually going on up here. Let's say there's 4 million fish in Anderson Ranch this year. Limit is 15 per person. Let's say there's 100 boats on the water every single day, two people per boat, and everybody catches their limit of 15 fish. So that means every boat, every day, there's 200 people taking their limit of fish out of here. At 30 fish per day, 200 boats. That's 1,500 fish, or no, let me do the math here. 30 boats, 30 fish per boat, 100 boats. That's 3,000 fish per day coming out of Anderson Ranch Reservoir. If there's 100 boats a day, everybody catching their limit and taking them out of here. 3,000 fish a day. You figure the season is March through July. That's about 5 months of season. About 150 days. In 150 days at 3,000 fish a day, that's 450,000 fish coming out of here over the course of the season. Well, if you think about 4 million, 450,000 is not even going to put a dent in that number. And a healthy kokanee population for this lake is probably closer to 1 to 2 million. And so we need to get as many out of here as we can. It's a great fishery because there's lots of fish. It's a great place to take somebody who hasn't caught a lot of kokanee, as I'm doing today with my brother-in-law and my nephew. Hopefully we'll catch a lot of fish today and show you what Anderson Ranch could be like. The fish aren't very big this year, but who knows? We might get lucky and catch something decent size. So follow along as we fish today. We'll see how it goes, and we'll get back with you as we get into some more fish. So I know I've walked you guys through my planer board setup before, but last time I did, it was raining pretty hard and it was windy as well. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through that again. So I have the planer board mast right here, and it's set up with about 75 yards of downrigger cable on each planer board, or on each side. We're going to attach it to the planer board here. There's just a wooden planer board with a bungee here to keep from too much shock going back and forth when we hit waves. But pretty easy, simple setup. Flip it on, toss it off that right side of the boat, and just let it go back as far out as I want it to go. I'll let it run, and then lock it in down here on the reel, and it'll be set out to that side. That's probably good. I'd say we're about probably 35-40 feet out. And I'll get back with you on getting a rod out as soon as I've got these set up here. Okay, so you saw me put the planer board out. I'm going to put this rod on this planer board on this right side of the boat here. So on this one, what I'm going to run is I'm going to run the pink and white Dodger with a pink spinner hoochie. It's a Kokanee spinner hoochie. And before I put it out there, let me get some corn out. So what I'll generally do is I'll run 2 flavors of corn, one on each side of the boat. So I'm going to run on this side, I'm going to run the shrimp krill. And on this left side of the boat, I'm going to run the nectar. Okay, so being that this is going on the planer board, I'm going to run this one back probably about 40 or 50 feet behind the boat. Turn this so you can see what I'm doing out here. So I'm going to run this back about 40 or 50 feet right there. And then I'm going to clip it in to this downrigger clip right here. Clip it in there, open up the shower curtain hook, put that on that planer board cable, snap it in, and then we're just going to run it out all the way out to that planer board out there. So guys, when this rod gets hit, you gotta, from the front, pick it up and it'll pop out. All right, so that's one is set. We're gonna do orange. So it's gonna be the orange and chartreuse Dodger with a orange and green spinner hoochie. How fast does that say we're going right now? How fast does the fish finder say we're going right now? 2. Okay, that's all right for setting rods. I'll slow down when I come back there. We want to be going really probably between around 1.3. But rods get out a lot faster. Yeah. At 2 than they do at 1.3. All right, so this one we're going to put out about 115 feet behind the boat, and then I'm actually going to set it in this downrigger on this side. Put the mic back on because the rain has quit. temperature is about 51 degrees right now, so these fish shouldn't be very deep. So I'm only going to drop this down about 1.5 feet, 2 feet below the surface, and then lock it in. But what that does is it gives us that tension on that rod. So if that rod gets hit, we're going to see it. This rod, we're probably just going to long line straight out the back of the boat. This one is getting the kind of Wonder Bread Dodger with the Wonder Bread spinner behind it as well. Also Kokanee. Which, if you don't remember, I'm pro staff for Kokanee, so that's why you'll see me using an awful lot of Kokanee gear. I am going to talk a little bit later also about how I choose what Dodgers to use and when. You know, color choices, why I choose what colors I do. It's largely based on weather and water conditions as well as time of the year. Set it back 120 feet, so still probably be about 10 feet now.
Normally the downrigger was the Dodgers would hold it down since there's no weight on it.
Yeah, the Dodger weighs about 1.2 ounces. Kokanee Dodgers, so they go down at 100 feet back. They go down around 10 feet. Now, being that was long line and the rod sticks straight up, it's not going to be quite as deep. It'll be
Rod down, low, and
well. I set it back 120. Just keep the rod down, low and low into the outside. Nate, I'll let you net this since you're back there. Colin, go ahead and step up here. Step down into the bottom right here. So your dad can get behind you there. And just keep the fish out to that outside right there. Alright, I started to say this, I think. This was getting green Dodger.
No fish.
Oh, fish came off. Alright. How far do you want it to be? We need to put more corn on it. So put another corn on the there's one hook that's missing a piece of corn. So let's get another piece of corn on there. Here comes the rain again.
What color cord does this one have on it?
This one right here. So just that hook that doesn't have a piece of corn, put a piece of corn on it. Oh, fish on right here, this red one. Still there? It might have come off. We'll give it a minute. Watch that red one.
So you reset your counter then, right?
It should be okay if it's at 0.
So what?
It's at 120 feet, right? 120. other two out, I'll check that one.
I gotta look close to see how to tell because
I can't tell.
it's pretty subtle, like the hit.
Yeah, these fish are small, so it is a fairly subtle bite. It's just, you'll see the rod just start twitching. All right, so this one's going on the planer board on the other side. Again, I'll repeat this for you here. So I'm back about 50 feet. I'm gonna clip in right here. And hook it to the planer board cable. And then just let it go all the way out to the side. Comes and goes.
Yeah.
So this last rod is also getting pink and green, the Majestic, and that's also with a pink Hoochie on it as well. And this one's going to go in the downrigger on this left side of the boat. And again, this is getting the nectar corn on this side. Yeah, go ahead and turn us a little ways toward the middle. The good news is right now we're not running anything deep, so it's not a big issue. We get into shallow water.
How deep are we running anything?
About 10 feet down.
That's it.
Maybe close to 15 with
That's
the downrigger rods.
Pull them down that distance.
Yeah.
Right? The downrigger's not very deep.
So this one again is going to go back about 115 feet to match the distance back on that one because it's going to be similar depth. So I want a similar distance back there as well. So if we got a school chasing one, that school could be hitting the other one as well. guys, I'm going to show you something. This is for you, Colin, Nate as well. I'm going to show you something on this red rod. Since we know it got hit, if a rod gets hit and it's still in the downrigger, like you see it right here, it's still clipped in, it's not pulling back that way. What you want to do, first of all, take them out, pick them up that way. But if it's still in the clip like this, put your thumb on the spool, you've got to pop, and that pops it loose. You're not setting the hook, you're just popping it out of that clip. Does that make sense? So that's going to be this rod and that rod as well.
Anything in the downrigger?
Anything that's in the downrigger, yeah. Because you don't want to set the hook, but you got to get it out of that clip so you can reel it in. Oh, there is a fish on here. It's still here. It's been there that whole time. Colin, you want to come get it?
Yeah, sure.
Come on up. Just keep the rod out low. Yeah, I can take that. You want? Actually, you can take it. I'm going to slow us down a little bit. Yep, there he is. Okay. So Colin starts to lift. Get that fish's head up. There we go. Got it. Little guy. Go ahead and pass the net under that rod. Oh, fish on. Nate, green rod. Go get it. Green rod, Nate. There you go. It's out already. So just there you go. So Colin, go ahead and get that out of the net. Get it out. There you go.
Now that back one's bopping.
Use the pliers
on it, or does it bop like that normally?
No, that's just the Dodger.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. It's already on.
Oh, and
Okay, grab it, get a good picture of it there, show it to the camera, and then you can throw it in the cooler. Get out of there. Show it to the camera. There you go. So just a reminder, this is that Mama Hog rod that I've talked about. The discount code for it will be in the description. Oh, fish on. No, garbage on. Not fish.
Biggest one of the day. Big stick so far.
come back on it.
There you go.
Maybe fish on my one too.
Well, hold it like you're proud of it.
Bro, it's so freaking
You
slippery.
can stick your finger in a gill and hold it that way too.
I have to.
Alright, so I had a subscriber that asked me to do a Dodger comparison today between Kokomo Dodgers versus other brands. And I'm not going to do exactly a side-by-side comparison because I can tell you right now, I already know that both of these will catch fish and probably equally well. There's not a lot of difference, you know, in the amount of flash that they create underwater or the amount of fish that they catch. However, where there are differences is in just the quality of the Dodger. The reason why I'm pro step for Kokomo and why I run Kokomo Dodgers is this Dodger you can see is quite a bit thicker than this Dodger. This is kind of like your sling blade. This Dodger weighs 1.2 ounces. So like right now in the early season when we're long lining a lot of rods or running the planer boards like I'm doing today, this Dodger will sink on its own. So at 100 feet, this Dodger is going to sink to anywhere from 10 to 12 feet typically. Whereas a thin Dodger like this one, like, you know, sling blade style Dodgers, it has no weight really of its own. So to get this to sink, even if you're long line, you're going to have to add a little bit of weight to it to get it underwater. I've seen it before. I remember a couple of years ago on Arrow Rock, I was trolling along. There's a guy in a kayak trolling by me. It was early season like this. He was long lining, and he goes by me. And then after he goes by, 100 feet later, I see his Dodger skating right on the surface, just right on the surface with his lure right behind it. He wasn't going to catch anything that way, and I don't think he even realized that it wasn't underwater. Now the other thing between this Dodger, the Kokomo, versus something like this, is you can see this Kokomo Dodger, it's pretty thick, it doesn't have a lot of bend to it. You can bend it if you want to, but it has this tail on it, which creates a lot of kick in the water. So it's built to have that natural kick back and forth. Whereas a Dodger like this, you can see I've already bent it a little bit, but they come pretty straight, pretty flat, and have very little tail on them to give you that kick. And so to really get a good kick out of these Dodgers, what you have to do is you have to put some bend into it, which I had already done a little bit on this one. You have to put some bend into it, give it a good bend, and so then it'll give you more kick in the water. So that's the big difference between them. Both of them will catch fish. They both work equally well. These are certainly going to be a little less expensive than the Kokomo. But the other difference with the Kokomo is with these, the paint on these, I've had Dodgers for 6 or 7 years, and I've never had the paint flake off of them. They last virtually forever. I showed on another video the watermelon colored one that I've caught king salmon on in the ocean, trolling at 3 miles an hour, where that Dodger's literally flipping over and over and over again, getting hit by king salmon, and it still looks as good as it did the day I bought it. Now the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is also how I choose my Dodger, what Dodger I'm going to run. Now, that has to do with two major factors. One is time of the year. This time of year, fish are generally going to be shallow. This time of year, you know, as you saw as I put these rods out today, I started with pink, green, white, and orange. Those are generally going to be kind of the colors that I'll start with in the spring. When fish are shallow, the water is clear, bright sunny days, those tend to be the colors I'll go with. I may go with some chrome as well. Now today the weather is kind of, there is some cloud cover, but it's not necessarily overcast. If it was more overcast today, you might have also seen me running maybe some purple or some blue or some dark green. Fish on right there. Because when you have overcast or darker conditions, a lot of times those darker colors tend to be better. A good rule of thumb is bright conditions, brighter, kind of fruitier colors. Darker conditions go with darker colors. Now that's not a hard and fast rule. It's a general rule. It can change. Always be willing to try different things, but that's just how I start out. Is I'll always start with lighter colors. In the spring, if the weather's clear, I may start darker if we're heavily overcast or we've got discolored water. Another one of those colors that works really well is we start getting a little deeper, and the deeper you go is kind of like, you know, darker days. You want to use darker colors to go deeper. As fish go deeper, I tend to run a lot of blacks, coppers, blues, dark greens, and purples. So if you have questions about that, please comment on the video. Ask those questions. I will be happy to answer those. We'll get back to the fishing. Colin has one on right here. Let's see if we can get it in the boat. So I mentioned earlier in this video that at the end I was going to tag on my kokanee canning recipe and process. However, as I was editing this video, it began to get pretty long, so I decided that I'm going to release my canning video as a separate standalone video. It will come out shortly, within a day or two, probably, of this video coming out, so look for it on my channel.
All right, so somehow in the downloading process, we lost audio for the end of this video here. At this point, we were at 44 fish in the boat. You saw we missed that take on that back rod that's behind me there. But at this point, we got a double between Nate and Colin. Each one got hit on both of those downrigger rods. So we're going to see if we can put at least one of these fish in the boat. And if we catch more than one, we got to release one of them because we have one more to catch our limit. You will see that Nate does end up losing this fish on this day. As you saw with the time-lapse video before this, it was a very, very busy day. We caught 45. We probably lost at least that many, if not more. We probably had 100 fish hooked on this particular Saturday. So no guarantee with a double that we're going to put both of them in the boat. So we'll see what happens here as we try and get this last fish in the boat to finish off our limit. Now, I believe that blue rod got bumped as well, but I don't feel anything on it here. Colin does still have that fish on. He can feel it fighting. There it is. That is fish number 45 in the boat. We are done for the day. We got to bring in these rods, though, so Nate's going to finish bringing in that blue rod, and I'm going to grab that red one right there, and I'm going to find a surprise on the red one. That fish that you guys saw on video, but we never saw, apparently was still on this rod. So as I get number 46 in the boat here and get it released, just one thing I'm just going to talk about real quick. I mentioned that I'm going to put out a separate video of canning kokanee. So with these small fish like we have in Anderson Ranch this year, I don't like to fillet these fish. They're too small to really get a good fillet off of. And I also don't like to freeze kokanee. I find that if you freeze kokanee, you lose a lot of the oils that are in them pretty quick. And so when I catch a lot of small fish, like we did here at Anderson, I prefer to can these fish. When you can them, you don't lose any of those oils that they have in them. You keep all of that goodness. They're very good for you as well. And so I like to can these fish to use throughout the year in various recipes. So as I said earlier, I am going to put together a video of canning these kokanee. I recorded it the next day after this trip, and as I was looking back at it, it's going to add another 10 to 12 minutes to this video if I tack it onto this one. So I'm just going to do an independent video, a standalone video of canning those kokanee. So watch for that. It should come out within the next couple of days here. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.